As the country continues to grapple the vice, corruption in the country continues to become a problem without results being yielded towards combating it, despite the existence of anti-corruption units. According to the Executive Director of Transparency International, a non-governmental organization aimed at creating change towards a corruption-free country, issued a call to action outlining ways on how corruption can be best combated. This was addressed today at the Transparency International Uganda offices during the launch of the Corruption Perception Index 2024.
Scenario, it shows that actually in Uganda we are making little or no progress in the fight against corruption. What we are saying first of all is that we should strengthen the accountability agencies. Let's ensure that these agencies have enough resources. Let's ensure that they have the independence to carry out the necessary investigations, to carry out the necessary prosecutions, to carry out the necessary follow-up in the fight against corruption. Let's ensure that in all our processes, be it procurement, be it budgeting, be it service delivery, they are all transparent, so that there's nothing hidden.
Marlon Agaba, the Executive Director of the Anti-Corruption Coalition Uganda, stated that corruption has been normalized in the country and attributed the lack of political will to fight the vice as one of the major reasons for the surge of corruption in the country.
In Uganda, we are very good at talking, at promising how we are going to crush corruption, how corruption is going, but then the actions are completely the opposite. So I think really in our case in Uganda, what has been lacking is the total political will and commitment to fight corruption. Just like we have had the will and commitment to fight other challenges we have faced as a.
He also stated that the methods currently used to combat corruption in the country are outdated and ineffective in addressing the issue.
We are using techniques of 1990s to fight corruption in the 2020s. That has extremely changed. We cannot be effective at that. The other issue, because of the institutions are not working, not implementing the laws, corruption now has become a norm. It has become a norm. Somebody gets an office and they see there's an entitlement. In other words, it has been normalized.
In addition, corruption is believed to be one of the major contributors to the climate crisis in the country due to inadequate funding. The 2024 Corruption Perception Index, under the theme Corruption and the Climate Crisis, highlights the connection between corruption and the worsening climate situation. Ms. Adrian Musime, the Vice Chairperson of Climate Action Uganda, emphasized several calls to action.
We have seen changes in rainfall patterns. So when that happens, it affects many sectors.
Mr. Paul Wanova, the African Regional Advisor of Transparency International Uganda, asserted that Africa as a whole is poorly ranked when it comes to corruption. However, he cited that there is hope for Uganda to score a higher index.
Africa is the region facing the highest vulnerability and impact from climate change. At the same time, Africa is the region facing the highest impact from corruption. It is quite possible to not stagnate on this index. It's quite possible to move. So it wouldn't be true that, oh, this index really, there's no progression. We are seeing some progress in some countries, and there are some factors that explain that progress, and those factors have been excellently put by the panel.
Hope Nyongereza, Church of Uganda Family TV, News at 8.